Um, so this is day 4 of me documenting my struggle with depression. I'm doing this somewhere else. It's in my living room because I figured I'd do my makeup while I record, and my roommate's not here, so because last time I tried to film, I almost was late for work, so instead I figured I'd do this while doing my makeup, because why not? So the angle is garbage. But anyway, I'm just gonna put this on, and I'm gonna just talk, because yesterday I filmed pretty early, and I filmed early yesterday because I had work in the evening and I didn't want to mess up my makeup, and I didn't want to what's the word? I didn't want to mess up my makeup, and I didn't want to risk being late for work, so instead I just filmed early and left it at that, which is fine. I'm filming, today's Valentine's Day 2020. I have work tonight because, what else am I doing? It's not like I have a date. Even when I was in a relationship, I never had a date on Valentine's. My ex wasn't that kind of person, and that's fine. I'm not really a Valentine's kind of person, but it's sometimes just nice to, I don't know somebody cares enough to go out of their way, I don't know. I went and I bought my roommate a Diet Pepsi because he doesn't like anything, so I figured he's working 8 hours, I might as well get him something to drink. So a few people have actually been watching these, which is not expected. I don't imagine they're watching all of this. I imagine anyone who's watching is watching like a couple of minutes. I don't know if you could even hear me because I'm trying to find my brush. 1 second. Okay. What was I saying? What was I saying? I was saying something. This is color corrector. So yesterday in the description of my video, I kind of talked about it, but I didn't talk about it in the video. With my depression, I have days where I can control my thoughts, and through being able to control my thoughts, I can control my emotions a bit better, which means I'm not crying all the time. That doesn't mean I'm happy, it just means I'm stable, I guess, which is what I have been yesterday and today. It doesn't mean I'm happy, it just means I can stop myself from thinking things that make me want to cry. I still want to cry all the time, which is fun, because, my mental health is doing great. And I still cried in the shower, but, progress is progress, right? And I know I don't know. The thing, too, is, like, when I'm in that, as it's on my nose, when I'm at that, stage, everybody kind of knows I'm sad, because I can't control, like, I'm just trying to keep my thoughts under control. I cannot keep my thoughts under control and then be worrying about everybody else. So I end up just kind of, how would I describe it? I guess everybody knows because I'm quiet, because I'm trying, like, I know if I talk, the wrong things are gonna come out and people are gonna know something's wrong. So if I keep my thoughts to myself and I don't say anything and I just focus on trying to think positive and not negative things, eventually I've got to get somewhere. That's how I see it. That's what I try to do. But over the past 2 days, today and yesterday, I've been able to control it without having to focus on it, which is good. I know for a lot of people, they don't quite understand how depression works in that. But like, depression, for me, my depression comes from a lot of self-loathing and then not being able to control it. And that's one of the things they teach you when you go get therapy, is that you need to learn to do things to control it. Oh, it does have a difference. And for some people, that's something like coloring because it cuts their mind off of it. Or for other people, it's... Oh, did I shut my alarm off? I don't know. I think I left my alarm on. I left my alarm on. Sorry about that. For some people, they can color and it gets their mind off of it. For other people, I don't know what else there's. Coloring's the big one. Writing stories. Everything. For me, that's never really worked. I cannot get my mind off of things when I'm sad. When I'm sad, there's no escaping it. Everything I do, I can't listen to music. I was talking to somebody on Omegle, and they were like, why don't you try listening to some music? And I'm like, I can't, because music just makes me think of things, and it just makes me more upset. And it's good for some people, but it doesn't work for me. And if it can work for you, that's great. It doesn't work for me. Even like when my roommate takes showers, he listens to music. And I used to, but I can't anymore. I mean, I could. I'm already in the shower crying. It's not like I'm gonna do any harm. But it's not gonna help either. Sorry, my ex just texted me. It was a nice text. What was I gonna say? I can't, because if I listen to music, I stay in that headspace and I come out, and my roommate's gonna notice I'm upset, and I'm gonna be upset that he's upset, and it's just gonna make me. It's just not something I want to do right now. And like, even when he listens to music, when he takes a shower, if I hear it, because surprise, somebody who's obsessed with their ex is constantly listening to music that's love songs, is even when he listens to music, it upsets me because I can hear it and I start associating with it and putting things on it, and it's not healthy for me to be listening to music right now. I can't even like listen to work at work. Thank God, at my current job they mostly play 80s music, and I can, but I barely do put meaning and stuff onto 80s music, because honestly, all of 80s music is just a bop, but all of 80s music is just a bop. That sounds stupid, but like, that's how it is. Like, I can listen to music at work, thank God, but I cannot do it at home. I can't do that. So I had class this morning. We stayed up late again. I think we stayed up till about 2. I can't remember what we were doing. I think we played a little bit of Minecraft, and then we watched TV because he had a headache and he didn't want to. He couldn't keep playing, which is fine. Fell asleep. I don't know. I think I heard him crying because he does that sometimes. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. I don't know. But it really upsets me when he cries, for a lot of reasons. One, I don't like hearing people in pain or hurting. And then the other thing that it upsets me is because it used to be when he cried or was upset, he'd talk to me. Like, he'd purposely message me and be like, I'm really upset right now, I need to talk to you. And now it's like, no, he won't talk to me at all. Which, I mean, fair enough. He keeps asking me what's wrong, and I keep telling him, you don't want to hear it, I don't want to talk about it, so we're not gonna. Those aren't even. Because, like, what's upsetting me right now is him, and if I tell him, he's gonna threaten to leave. And he can leave. Like, every time he threatens to leave, I tell him, do what you want. Do what makes you happy. And he ends up staying, so I don't know. Like, you ever heard of mixed signals? Because I'm currently living in that right now. But we went to bed late. I woke up at 8 because I had, we had a group presentation for my psychology class for our study that we're doing. And, I'm really tired. I didn't end up going to my afternoon class because I can't understand the professor, for one thing, and second of all, I'm so tired, and I wanted to come home and do stuff before I had to go to work. Like, I came home, I did kitty litter, I picked up groceries, everything. I'm sure this sounds super boring, but, like, that's what depression is. Like, everybody, I think, has this idea that depression's just, like, people laying in bed crying all the time. But it's not. For me, I've had depression for, like, 15 years. Ever since I was a kid, I've had depression. I am functional. I can go and I can work. I can do everything and be fine. And then when I get alone with my thoughts, it all hits me at once. Which sucks. And I don't have a lot of people to talk to. Like, dealing with shit with a friend of mine, because he's become very toxic, and I have to talk to him, and I can't have that in my life right now. I'm seeing another friend tonight. I don't know if we're gonna hang out at work. I get to cry to him about my issues with my roommate, and then we get to try and figure out what to do with our friend. And, like, that's all good. I'm happy to be seeing people. Like, I need to be getting out more. I need to be spending time with people who care. And I have people who care, but the other problem is, like, I don't want to reach out to people and be like, I need help. Because how do you reach out to people and tell them that you're doing bad? Because then I feel like I'm burdening them. And I know BoJack Horseman, I think BoJack talked about it, where he's like, I think it was BoJack, who said, he's like, you think that if you hold it in, you're keeping people from having to deal with your burden, but what you're really doing is you're just burdening them more. I'm saying burden a lot, but it's true. Like, with my roommate, he's constantly just keeping everything that's wrong inside. He doesn't share it, and I get to sit here and feel like something's wrong with me because he won't talk to me. And then, like, I feel the same way if I don't talk to my friends and tell them, like, look, I need help. Because if I don't tell them, I'm making them feel like there's something wrong with them, and I don't think that they're strong enough. Like, depression's such a messy illness. I hate it. Like, I'm gonna move this a little bit. I'm probably gonna stop filming soon because this is already 15 minutes. Like, nobody talks about this stuff with depression. Everybody just talks about feeling sad. Nobody talks about the fact that you feel alone because you cannot talk to somebody without feeling like you're being a burden. When you do talk to people, usually their advice is sound, but it's not advice you want. You want somebody to just have an instant fix for your problems, which doesn't exist. you have to deal with the fact that, like, everything feels so out of control. Your emotions don't want to behave. And then if you're functional, everybody just assumes everything's okay. Like, oh, I'm feeling okay today. Like my roommate, the big thing he always says is he's always like, just don't be sad. And I'm like, good for you, you can do that. I can't. These aren't even related. I hate eyebrows. I'm so bad at it. But, like, good for you. You can control your thoughts, and you can stop yourself from being sad. Cool. I can't. It looks so bad. Ugh. I have no control over when I'm happy and when I'm sad and when I'm, like, I have no control over who I have feelings for. Clearly. And then when people do have control over that stuff, it can be hard for them to understand why you don't why you can't do what they're doing. Like, almost everybody in their life is going to go through at least one major depressive episode. I can't remember the exact statistic, but it was something we talked about in my abnormal psychology class, was most people fit the symptoms to say that they've gone through at least one massive makes it sound weird, one major depressive episode. And that's fine. And I'm sure there's lots, like, it makes sense. Maybe you have a parent die, maybe you have a really bad breakup or divorce, maybe something worse happens. I don't know. This looks so bad. They don't even look like sisters. Oh, I've made it worse. I'll live with this. I'm chaos. But, like, it can be hard for people to understand when they don't have to deal with depression their entire lives, what it's like. And, like, I've been dealing with this for most of my life. You can see all my cool prints on the wall. I've been dealing with depression for almost my entire life. Like, I was diagnosed as a child. If there was an easy fix to this, I'd have it by now, I think. And, like, one of the analogies I always use for depression when I have to explain to people, talk to people about what it is and what it's like, is I always explain depression as, like, a giant sea monster. And it's gonna grab nearly everybody at least once in their life. At least once in your life, you're probably gonna get grabbed by this monster. And it's gonna try to drag you down. But when you have depression, it just likes you for some reason. And it's constantly trying to drag you down. And it's hard because you just keep getting pulled. And, like, it's depressing. And it's sad to know that this is gonna happen again. You can break free, and in the back of your mind, you're like, it's gonna happen again. I'm not actually, like, happy. This isn't permanent. And, like, you have to learn to accept that. And then the other big thing that I find people with, not just depression, but a lot of people who are in this position often end up, when you're depressed, you have to deal with the source of the problem. You have to deal with what's making you depressed. And that's essentially fighting off the sea monster. So when you're trying to fight off the sea monster, you have to be trying to fight off the sea monster and not focusing on air bubbles, because then you're just getting dragged down further. And I've known a lot of people in my life with depression. I've had very close friends who have also suffered from depression and self-harming and suicidal behavior. it's something, it's been a very intimate part of my life for a very long time. And I know too many people who focus on temporary happy, grabbing little air bubbles. And I'm doing it now too, where like instead of dealing with this issue at hand with my roommate, I'm drinking and trying to make myself feel better that way. And I know it's not gonna fix anything, because I'm convinced that eventually, because the thing that sucks right now is this all kind of hinges on another person. When the depression is coming from, because it does sometimes just happen from within, it's easier to, I don't want to say easier to fight, but it's easier to understand what's going to happen. I have no idea what's happening. Like, that might sound insane, but like, I don't know. My roommate's been really flip-floppy on his emotions, so I don't know if I want to like, well, for one thing, I physically can't just claim my hands to this and be like, I don't have feelings for this person anymore. Because like I said, I've never met someone who's made me feel like this, and I've never gone through something like this before. I've never met someone who's checked every single box I have. And that's sad. But like, it's just how it is. I don't want to let go, because if I let go and I start fighting this, I know it's not, if I start trying to fight the monster right now, that's it. It's dead, and there's no option for it to get better. I'm not going to be able to potentially see this friendship become more, because it'll be gone. And he'll be gone. He'll read that stupid note I wrote him and be very upset. But, because I ended up writing him a note, and I put it in a box I painted for him back in September, because I knew he was sad, so I made him a little box. Be like, hey, here's this thing you like, I painted on a box because I want you to feel better. I care about you. Stupid. But I wrote him a note and put it in his little box to say like, hey, once he leaves, and be like, hey, I felt this strongly about you. I would do anything to be the person you want, but at the same time, I kind of just want someone to like me for me, but I like you for all of you. I never said all this when you were here because I knew you'd leave, but if you're gone, I don't really care anymore. And I hope he never sees this, because then he's going to end up looking at it and seeing it before he's gone, and then we get to have a talk. Not even a talk. I get to talk, and he gets to just keep saying, I'm going to leave. Because that's what he's going to do. He's not going to try to figure it out. He's not going to talk to me. He's just going to be like, I'm done. How you feel doesn't matter. Anyway. But, like, I want to make a video, and I want to talk about my struggle with depression, and I want to talk also about things that make me happy, like genuinely happy, and all of those things hinge on other people, and that's not healthy. So I don't even know if I want to do it, because do I want to do something that's just going to make me feel worse and realize how messed up my mental health is? Do I want to do that? I don't know. Shout out to Siren Cove for suggesting the Anastasia Glow Kit, and I listened to her, and guess what? It is pretty good. Putting I'm putting highlight on my lid because I don't care anymore. I don't have a decent white. Yes, I am doing Valentine's Day makeup because I have to go deal with lots of people who are in love and I just don't want to. So this will make me feel better. I call this my war paint. Because even when I don't like myself, I feel more confident. My lids look bad. I'll fix it later. I should end this video. Sorry that this isn't like me crying or anything. I don't think, did I cry yesterday? I can't remember. But this is what depression is. It's not crying every day. Sometimes it's being a functioning person who can do everything they need to and just feeling like empty, I guess. That's what I feel. Very empty. But you can't. Anybody who thinks that depression is just like one standard thing, I hope they know that, like, this is my struggle. My struggle is going to be completely different than somebody else's. We all struggle with people who have depression. We all struggle differently, and you know, that's valid, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some of us struggle very silently, and some of us kick and scream. Like, it doesn't mean it's any less valid. Some of us get angry, some of us don't. Like, depression's this weird monster that has so many different forms, and it sucks. Anyway, I'm gonna have to, let's hope this look comes out okay and I can post it on my Instagram later. This video is my longest video to date. Yeah, this is day 4. Not crying as much, but that's what it is. I'll see you later.